Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today is our topic. Out of the course contents are collection, preservation, and identification of plant diseases based on symptoms. Basically, a plant pathologist or a student taking plant pathology is often asked by friends or associates the following questions: what is wrong with my plant? Followed by, what can I do to get rid of the problem? It may be too late to help the specific plant when the question is asked, but proper diagnosis may be extremely important in preventing the problems on the other plants or in preventing the problems in the future. So, how does a plant pathologist or a plant pathology student go about diagnosing plant problems? Basically, you should have a very good observation skills, and these observation skills only comes from if you well aware about the differentiation of the disease symptoms caused by different plant pathogens. So, moving towards our today topic, uh, I want to explain why we do sampling. So, sampling often do for the purpose of subsequent laboratory studies to send the specialist for further diagnosis, to quarantine legislations and future study and demonstrating purposes. So, now coming towards successful disease management depends on correct identification of the problem. As I discussed earlier, let us know how to manage it, the most effective time to manage it. So these are the questions you should ask before going to collect the samples: how to manage and how it will be managed by you. These are the key tools for diagnosis. Uh, Also include pencils, markers, plastic bags, envelopes, ice box, etc. So steps for diagnosis comprises: know the normal host characteristics, look for symptoms and signs, timing of symptoms with relation to environment, and obviously host. This is the symptom in the field, and you can only differentiate these symptoms in the field if you have the exactly know of the steps of the diagnosis to know the normal host, and these are the abnormal appearance caused by different plant pathogens: the bacteria, the virus, the nematode, and the fungi. You are well aware about the fungi symptoms comprises of root rot, foot rot, dieback, wither tip, anthracnose, damping off, downy mildew, powdery mildew, rust, smut, and burnt. So these are the symptoms caused by the different fungi, and these are the signs of this pathogen. You can see the sign if any insect is present on the leaves or the stem or on the twigs of the plant. So it will be the sign of that pathogen. You can see the signs on the leaf. These are all the signs. And other, you can also differentiate the steps of diagnosis already discussed with you all. How fast did the symptoms appear? This is the sudden or the several days, into the weeks or months, or into couple of weeks. So this is the depends upon the pathogen aggressiveness. The more pathogen will be the aggressive, the more disease will be the prevalent in the field. So it's all depend on the pathogen prevalence in the field and its incidence, disease incidence, and disease severity, commonly known as disease intensity. So you have to in mind while collecting the disease samples is the two form of patterns. One is uniform caused by abiotic, and other is a non-uniform caused by the disease insects. Here I want to explain about the abiotic and biotic factors. Abiotic factors involves temperature, involves humidity, involves rainfall, while in the non-uniform it involves the disease as the insects. Insects are the biotic factors, the plant pathogens. So going towards the other slide, you can see that the drought symptoms on the maple plant. These symptoms, you can see that these symptoms are the uniform symptoms, as we discussed earlier about the abiotic factors. Look for the pattern on the plant, whether the symptoms appear on the top, either symptoms appeared on the bottom, either on the one-sided or the scattered symptoms. So in case of mostly in case of viruses, these symptoms of patterns appears, like yellowing, like the color of leaf become yellow. Now in this slide you can see that the plant looks healthy, but in the stem part, in the bottom, the disease occurred. While we are discussing about the viruses, this is the dwarfing, plant remains short and small height, while it's about the chlorosis, malformation, leaf rolling, rugosity, and ination. Ination basically the new tissue or small outgrowth or another leaf stem is called ination. This is the most common in cotton leaf pearl virus. These are the symptoms which I explained about the viruses. Same as the symptoms caused by the bacteria are the leaf spots, blights, and wilts. This slide shows the winter burn. While the pattern is the may also be seen in the landscape, low or wet areas, poor soil fertility areas, areas with compaction, area with wind exposure, and obviously near the roads. Near the roads, you can also see the disease, plant diseases due to the humidity, due to the damp conditions near the roads. So going towards the next slide, can you see insects? Yes, the symptoms appeared on the leaves may be due to the insects. Here I can also explain about the insects attack. Sometimes the pathogen cannot is forced to enter into the plant stem or leaves, but couldn't because due to the non-available of space. When the insect attack on the stem or the leaf and cause injured the plant, then the pathogen make the space due to the insect attack, and the same pathogen, either the virus, bacteria, nematode, or fungi, will enter into the stem or the leaves. Now you should have in mind that these all plant pathogens have their own entrance protocol. Some are the passive way and some are the have the active way. Bacteria and viruses are the active way, and fungi as a direct way. The passive way is the need of any kind of injury or any kind of mechanical injury. So bacteria and viruses are the passive in nature, and nematode and fungi are the active in nature. So these all about the today our topic comprises of collection, preservation, and identification of plant diseases. Here I can also suggest you to have you should have the polythene bags, zipper bags in your hands while collecting the disease samples. After the differentiation of the plant pathogens symptoms in the field, then you will have the basic idea of plant pathogens symptoms in the field. You can easily identify the disease samples of your own interest, and then put it into the polythene bags brought to the laboratory and put them into the refrigerator at about 4 centigrade until the further use. Thank you very much. In the next topic, we will study how we will do the isolation protocols, how we will do the isolation and the preservation and the purification of the plant pathogens from the same samples which we brought from the field to the laboratory. Thank you very much.